We're
back! Did you miss us?
Hey, welcome to Texas!
He's a 10.
I choose this family.
Hi guys, we're back and welcome to episode 36 of 911 Lone Star Roundup, or I guess season 2, because we're kind of calling this a season 2. I mean, we haven't like it is a season 2, but never mind.
We're still going to count episodes.
Yeah, we're still gonna be like, it's episode 30 whatever, but like this is technically our season 2. I'm one of your hosts, Katie, and with me are my lovely co-hosts, Grace.
Hey guys.
And EJ.
Hey everybody.
And yeah, like we said, welcome back. This is our first episode, of course, since our hiatus, which is crazy. Like, it's so weird being back. Like, I feel like we never left.
Right.
Like, it literally does feel like we never left. It's so good to be back. I know, like, it was, like, we posted quite a bit on, like, Instagram over the summer, so it kind of did feel like, even though we weren't recording, that we were doing something. And we had, like, a lot to still, like, share. And we did our first live, like, a week ago from recording this, which is super fun. And thanks to everyone that did, like, tune into that. I just want to say that. But today, we will be talking about our season 3 wish list for 911 Lone Star. Thought this was a great episode for the first one back. And this will be, like, our second year doing this. And we'll also include, like, a mini 911 wish list, since, like, the premiere is literally, like, just in a few weeks.
Right.
And stuff. And the promo just dropped for 911 the week we're recording, so we're going to talk about that. There's just so much to talk about,
Right.
so...
And not only that, Lone Star starts filming in like a week or two from when we're recording this, so we wanted to get our wish list in before we knew anything for sure from the show.
Oh yeah, they start filming literally, like, think 2 days after this goes up, I think, or 1 day after
Yeah, I
this
can't
goes
remember
up.
the exact date off the top of my head, but yeah,
Something
it's
like
getting
that.
close. Yeah, it's
Wait.
super close.
Oh, let's get to talking. So, of course, we have to save the best for first instead of last.
Sustain us to go through everything else, because, you know, it doesn't feel like we ever left, but at the same time, I feel rusty.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
We've
know what I
been
mean.
Zooming like every week since we went on our hiatus to keep our days together, but it's different when we're recording, so I get that.
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know, like, it's definitely still, like, a little weird, but it's, like, still funny. I don't know, like, yeah.
It's just a little odd. It's going to take a little bit to settle back in, I think.
Yeah, I think what would also help, at least for me, is, like, I felt like half of the time this whole, like, summer, or most of the summer, be like, what's gonna happen next? We would literally talk about, like, theories or wish lists literally, like, before, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So for Tarlos,
Oh man.
the first thing that I want to happen is, I know that we might not get this, but let me just have this moment. I really want to see them go, like, apartment or house hunting, because like, their house burned down, if you kind of forgot about that.
If you forgot
How
about
could
that,
you
I want to know,
forget?
like, how?
I mean, who never knows? Maybe, like, amnesia, I don't know.
What? Completely forgetting that Liz starts this. Yeah, their house burned down, and I know I definitely want that to happen too.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, just give us it. It's not too much to ask.
It's not too much to ask, even if it's a flashback. Like, I don't care. Even if it's a flashback. Like, there's no reason, like, you can't give that to us. I'm sorry, but, like, put it flashback. And, like, same realtor as, the one that showed TK and Owen their house, and the same one that, Tommy and, Charles used. Police.
Yes, we love her.
Well, and I think too, like, we didn't really get much discussion of house in 13 or 14. Like, so it went from 212, it burning down, to we assumed they were living with Owen. So we never even really figured out for sure that was what was going on. So that would be, like, nice to, like, find out what the heck was going on. And just the images I have of them living with Owen and Mateo. The walls aren't
said
that
it
thick.
Before. I'm going to say it again. I want a repeat of the scene from early season 2, which was the walls are not that thick, but directed towards Carlos.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes. We were talking about this like just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we need
I
that.
want it.
Police. Like, yes, I kind of do want, like, them. Like, I know there will be a time jump, but, like, say there wasn't, I would want, like, TK and Carlos to still be living with Owen and Mateo, just for the fact of, like, I want to see, like, that many people living together and just how, like, chaotic that would be.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that
I
just
want
feels.
it.
That just feels so chaotic and
Well,
stuff.
especially because we're pretty sure that they're going to come back and everybody's going to be working at a different station. So, like, nobody's going to have the same shift.
Yeah.
I didn't want to think about that fact.
Yeah, let's not think about that.
That thought exited my brain.
Yep, it's going. But no, I agree, but it'll be just very interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, definitely. So next, this is what I think we mentioned before, and we'll mention it again. Tarlos waking up in bed together before work.
I'm going to add something onto that with Buttercup sprawled on top of them.
Yes, please. Yes,
Fact.
please.
I've seen this done in other shows and movies and stuff. But like they like go to bed spooning each other, and like the little spoon wakes up because they feel the other nuzzling them. And then they turn and find it's the dog.
Oh my god.
I want that to happen.
Or one of them gets up to go to the bathroom and and Buttercup takes their place.
Yeah.
And won't let them back in bed.
I want it.
Police. Like that would be so good.
That's just our way of saying we want Buttercup and Tarlos.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. And
But actually Tarlos waking up in bed together, that I want that to be how the season opens. I want that to be the opening scene.
Can it? Because that would be a way to start. Like, that's all I want is like Tarlos. Like, I want a Tarlos exploding episode. Like, I just want so much Tarlos is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. all the Tarlos. Come on. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Especially because I love Ronan, so I want more Ronan, but I want more Carlos. I want more Rafa on screen.
Yes, and we will talk more about that further down on the wish list. But yes to all of that, because give Carlos screen time.
So next, I would like Tarlos, like, in the middle of their shift, meeting for lunch. Like, remember that one episode where, like, Carlos and Michelle were having lunch? So, like, make it Tarlos, please.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
More than likely, Tommy and Nancy tag-alongs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't really want a tag along, but like
if they went to the same place to eat and then they just like sat in different areas.
Oh yeah, like they're just there, but like they're not like interrupting the moment. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we were talking about this the other day, and like I kind of thought about this a while ago, but I would really like to see like TK and Carlos almost like form like a friend group or something like that that's like outside of 126 and like with like-minded people, like people that are obviously like LGBTQ plus too, and like just more representation on the show. I know the other day we were talking about this, like pretty sure Grace brought this up of how like it'd be cool to see somebody that was like gender fluid be introduced.
Yeah, gender fluid, non-binary, like just, you know, we already made great strides in the fact that we have a transgender character, but bring in somebody gender non-conforming. Yeah,
that'd be so cool. Like, I feel like very few TV shows have really done it, so I think it would be like, why not Lone Star?
Yeah.
And so I'm saying like Jonathan Van Ness. And actually, we have a connection to Jonathan with Rafa, because Rafa was in a commercial with Jonathan Van Ness a few years ago. So there's a connection there.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was just about to be like, is it the one I'm thinking of? Because that's the only one that comes to mind. Okay, yeah. At least for me, the last Tarlos wishlist item, like this is like literally the cherry on top, or like the frosting on the cake. This is literally like the most perfect one. And I don't don't know if it'll happen, but I just really want it. Proposal, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
Yes.
we'll get it, but, like, we're more likely to get a proposal than we are to get a wedding, so there's that, because, like, wedding, do not want it right now, because that would be way too soon. And, like, I don't want it to go, like, that fast, be like, oh, we're married. Like, no. And, like, if it happens, I want it to happen at the end of the season, not, like, in the middle. Like, I want it to be the end.
Exactly. They've only, let's see, by the time the season starts up, let's just say they've been dating a year. And so by the end of the season, they'll have been together around 2 years. That's a good proposal point. Okay? That's good. I don't want to rush this. And so I want the proposal at the end of the season. And then this is going a little out there, but just because we already brought this up, the wedding, like, at earliest end of season 4, but I want in season 5. Like,
oh yeah, I agree.
Draw it out and, like, normalize not rushing these things.
Yeah.
You don't need to rush them.
Exactly. And
Like,
speaking
don't
of
take 5 years.
yes, I mean, don't take 5 years. Please do not do that to us. But speaking of the wedding, I know, like, I brought this up. We've talked about this, like, a couple weeks ago. But I think, like, there's always been the question of, like, will they bring Michelle back? Like, obviously, I don't think they'll bring her back, like, full time or as a main character. But if they're gonna bring her back at all, I want it to be for the Tarlos wedding. Like, that would be the perfect time for them to, like, kind of bring her back and be like, oh, what's going on with your life? Like, what you been doing? Like, kind of for us. And stuff as, like, fans of the show. But, like, that would be the perfect moment for that.
Couple of things I wanted. I know we mentioned about having their friend group outside of the 126, which would be awesome. But I also was thinking both Rafa and TK had Carlos and TK. Gosh, like, my brain. So Carlos and TK have both had friends outside of their relationship, and so I would like to have, like, a friend from New York of TK's come and visit or something and get to know Carlos, or friends of Carlos's get to know TK now that they're dating and now that they're out, because, like, even Carlos's parents know about them. So just kind of the, like, getting to know each other's friends and not just having friends they met together.
No, I agree. And I think in shows like this, you only see friendships that are between departments and stations. And so, like, bring it outside of that.
It gives it a more well-rounded character.
And, like, no, very few first responders, like, don't have a life, like, any social life outside the station. Like, that's not how it works. Yeah, that's the life, that's the family, but there's always friends that aren't family. And so...
yeah, definitely. So, speaking of TK... so, like, obviously, like, TK Begins is, like, the major item, like, wishlist wise. I mean, I want Everyone Begins, but, like, I just keep thinking about, like, his past and, like, how I just want, like, more background and, like, I want to know more things. And I feel like a TK Begins is a must. I mean, we know there's, like, several characters, and they're not gonna do, like, 9-1 Begins themed episodes. I mean, they're gonna do them, but, like, in different ways since they're different shows. But still, I still want it, and we need it because we need, like, the background. And if they did it exactly how they did, like, Shouting Grace Begins, like that, the Saving Grace episode, it'd be perfect because we need to know, like, more about his addiction, because we know, like, he's an addict, but that's, like, all we know. We just know that that's a fact about him. We don't know, like, how or why or how that developed. We know, like, minimal things about his childhood. We just need more.
So I saw something about this on Twitter, and I'm not going to call the user out or anything, and I'm not even really, I disagree with them a little bit, but also agree with them a little bit. They were talking about how TK should have overdosed at the end of the season, and I do not agree with that at all, but there's a lot of other ways to show struggling with an addiction that isn't the extreme. So, like, I would just want, conversation or maybe, like, visual struggle. So, for example, there's a really bad call, and later TK is talking to Carlos and just kind of being like, I almost caved it. Like, I felt that because, I just was so in my head, that kind of thing. Or him, like, walking home and he sees, like, a deal going on down the street, and, like, just for that moment, he almost to like find something, and then he just stopped because people are doing well doesn't mean they don't struggle. And so I want to see him struggle but still do well. We already saw him overdosing. We don't need to see him overdose again.
Yeah, I feel like some shows take it too far. They'll have like a character that's like an addict, like just relapse over and over and over again. And like, not saying that like that's not like important to show, but also like they can show struggles like without showing like a second relapse. Like, because I feel like they kind of touched on it in like episode one of the episodes in season 2, like where he was talking to Owen how like he used to handle different emotional things like badly. Yeah, I think it was before the intervention.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like when he was switching like careers, sort of. So,
206, 207.
I just couldn't remember the number, so I feel like he kind of touched on there. But like, I want to see almost like a bad, not like a bad call, but like I want to see like him go to Carlos and be like, well, like I'm kind of struggling with this, and like I don't want to resort to this, kind of that kind of feeling.
And the kind of thing, you know, some are like, you know, take my keys and my wallet, like so, like I don't have, you know, the resources, and you know, I just, you know,
or even
I just
like
want to see that, but we don't need the extremes,
right? Or even an introduction of a sponsor, because like we know when he first moved to Austin, Owen had he wanted him to go through therapy and he wanted to get back into meetings, which means he probably has a sponsor. So
I want to see him go to like an NA meeting.
Yeah, because when you're struggling, you go to those meetings, and or when you're not struggling, you go.
Yeah. We saw Bobby and 911 go to an AA meeting, and I want him to go to an NA meeting, because I feel like seeing the meetings represented, like seeing the people, it I don't know how to say it other than undemonizes like the thought of substance abuse and like the people who struggle with it, like humanize them, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. And yeah, I've always wanted like a NA meeting. Like I wanted like to see an introduction of a sponsor. I would also like at some point like to see like the other side, like TK being a mentor to somebody.
Oh, that'd be nice. I'd like that. Yeah.
Even if it didn't have to do with like the NA part, like even if it was somebody he met through work that was like that wasn't like part of the department, but it was just somebody he met that way and not like through NA.
Or like he runs across like he has to treat a kid or something, like a teen that's struggling with substance abuse, and he's able to talk to them, and then like the kid connects with him afterwards and they like form a friendship and he starts to help him. So that would be really cool.
Yeah, it would. I really want something along the lines of that.
I think for me,
I keep cutting in. What I was just thinking of, I want to see it but I don't want to see it represented like what happened with Bobby and the woman who caused the crash.
Oh yeah, no.
Because that was like lots of secret keeping and like lots of conflict.
Right.
But at the same time, I kind of want to see a little bit of the same emotion we saw going there, which was like, let's keep someone from becoming me.
Right.
And also a slight... I think sometimes when people do that, they are kind of proving to themselves as well that they are moving on. And so, you know, I just kind of want to see all that.
I think for me, one of the big things I want to see with TK is we know that when his mom left, she was pregnant. And he's going to have a little brother. And if we have a time jump, the brother will already have been born. So I want to kind of see how TK handles that, like how he deals with his mom and knowing that his pseudo stepfather and mom have a kid together, that he's gonna grow, like the kid's gonna grow up with him not nearby, and like how does he handle that, and how, like, because I don't think Lisa Edelstein is coming back this season, so more than likely we won't have any Gwen, so it'll probably be a mention, if at all, anything.
I'm perfectly happy with her never coming back. I would take a Zoom call.
Yeah, I would be fine with like Zoom or something, just to have that connection and maybe learn a little bit more about TK's relationship with Enzo, because we, got some hints in last season that he was around a little bit more when Owen couldn't be, and and I also want relationship with Owen. I want him to like actually have a relationship with his dad, and
let's bring back the season 1 relationship. Yeah. The season 2 relationship was shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Doing that again. If the writers do that again, I'm holding a riot. Just saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they did with Owen that will make me riot. Like, come on. Like, no. Like, that's not.
They did TK and Owen dirty, and they did Owen just in general dirty. So let's fix some of that.
Yeah, let's do it. Please. Like, yeah. So TK's better half, or I don't know. It could go either way. Never mind. Carlos. So for Carlos, I don't know. There's like so many things. Like, please, like, give Carlos more solo storylines. Like, I almost want like to see the like his station, like the police station more. Like, I want to see that side of things. I also want them to stop treating him like a side main character and treat him like a main character. Like, he needs more screen time, first of all. That's starters. Like, just give him more stories and like more storylines outside of TK, like not treating him as like TK's boyfriend, because like in season 1 he was like Michelle's friend. Season 2 he's like TK's boyfriend. He got like maybe a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 episodes where he had like somewhat of a storyline.
Yeah, like 8, like episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
That was like probably one of his biggest moments to shine, and he did. Rafa has the ability to shine. They put Carlos as a like side main character because Rafael Silva was not a well-known name, but he is so beloved right now by the fandom. There's no reason to keep him as such. Let him grow. There's room for him to grow. I mean, just look at what they were able to do with Athena, for example. Like that's about the equivalent, and that's such an uneven scale. Let's bring it back up because Rafa needs screen time. Carlos needs screen time.
Right.
Exactly. Like, just give it to him already, especially with, like, the police stuff, because like season 1 I feel like he didn't really have a consistent partner. Like, I feel like they didn't really show that, but like at season 2 it's the same partner, and I would like to even go further and like know about that partnership, maybe learn a couple things about her, like, because I don't know, I would just like to see that. Like, that would be really interesting.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
more it's more than just the 126. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah, it is. Like, represent, like, him on cases. And honestly, not all of it also needs to be, like, him running up against his dad or superiors or stuff. Like, just give him cases. Yeah, he's still technically just a patrol officer, but there's a lot that can be explored with that.
Yeah, especially since, like, we see Athena work cases. I mean, she is a sergeant, but, like, still. She's still, like, on patrol.
Right.
So, like, why not Carlos? Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, he may not have all the same freedoms as Athena does as a sergeant, but he has some. And honestly, I don't want the exact same as Athena either. Like, I want the same status. I want the same, like, equal role.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we don't need duplicates. I want, like, Carlos and his own struggles and his own, like, you know, him being a patrol officer, not a sergeant. Like, yeah, just give us it all. We want it all. Right. Give us that him being hurt. Okay, like, do not kill him. I will hurt your people. But sorry, that was extreme. But
mood
stands. What even is me? My filter's gone.
I don't have a filter, so there's that.
My brain is too tired to have a filter. Yeah, but anyhow, that's it.
I don't know. Yeah, Rafael Silva is an amazing actor, and when he's given the opportunity to shine, he is as bright as a star. Like, he's amazing. So
himself.
Yeah, and I'm praying that because of the proof, obviously, in the last few seasons, that we get more. And I don't know, like, and also with Athena's a sergeant, she chose not to be a detective. So the next step up for patrol officer is usually detective.
Yeah.
Unless they want to stay patrol officer and then they just rank up like sergeant and go from there. So, you know, see where he's at, you know, what does he want to do? And are we going to have more Gabriel, you know, around? Is he going to be more of the Athena character and Carlos is going to be kind of the patrol officer? You know, what, because they wouldn't have brought Carlos's dad in as a Texas Ranger if they didn't have plans of having him back.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I also kind of disagree because I don't really think they brought him in to like be like a major character and for him to like kind of have a similar like role as Athena does. Like I don't think that was the purpose. I think like I kind of think they made him a cop just for the fact that like that kind of connects them in a way. Like Carlos might have become a cop because of his dad or something like that.
Okay.
And because of like the history of their relationship that Carlos kind of talked about.
Honestly, since they brought Carlos in at the beginning, I think they were just trying to replicate some of the same dynamics that we had in 911, which was having Carlos as a cop, because, you know, we have a cop in Athena, which I'm totally fine with. I love him as a cop. But, you know, the show was just getting started, and it was piggybacking off of 911, but now it's become its own thing, and so like there's a lot of room to grow even within the roles that were set in the piggybacking.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like I mean every show like this has to have like a cop, so that's particularly why and stuff. Like they gotta have one. Like you need like a police. You need police somewhere. So yeah. So I guess like connecting to Gabriel, because I did think of this. I feel like I would like to see like an open conversation with Carlos and his dad, because I feel like things are mentioned, and maybe his mom too. But I'm not really sure if I don't know if like that's what I want, or like it might be nice, but like I feel like because like I feel like there was like the hint that like Carlos thought that maybe like Gabriel wouldn't be supportive of like his relationship or and like different things, but like it was then proven that that wasn't true. But I still would like almost like a conversation about like kind of how he felt like growing up, especially as a teenager, and like for him to talk about it, because I feel like there's things that are definitely brought up that like they don't have to be addressed, but it would be nice for them to be addressed.
I don't want it to be swept under the rug.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like I feel like they kind of put it out there, so they kind of have to have like they have to have that conversation eventually, and I think it's important to have that conversation.
Yeah, like let it happen, let it roll.
Yeah, I think,
let's bring some healing.
yeah, because Carlos has a right to share it with his parents. You know, like this is why I didn't say anything, because you guys didn't make it seem like I could, and he needs to, you know, tell them how he felt. And can't hide that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like it should have happened last season, but like, better late than never.
Right.
So next, we could not leave the star of Lone Star out. Buttercup. Yeah, I'm talking about Buttercup. Like,
Yes.
a bunch of people are probably like, TK, you already talked about him. No, Buttercup.
Buttercup. He's the star.
So I feel like we only have like one collective thought, and that is we need to see a sign of life every episode, even if it's just for like a split minute, like a little cameo of Buttercup, like just being there. Like it doesn't matter what. We just need to see it, and we have all agreed on this.
Yes, we have. And I got to meet a Buttercup over the summer. That was
pretty cool. I
cool.
forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
It's a hashtag and those beautiful dog in person, not just on screen.
Yes. Yeah, one of my mom's like former coworkers has one, and I was like, God, I wish they still worked for you, because I would want to meet it so bad. I'm like, I want to meet one. I just want to pet one, like so bad.
Yeah. I met it in a grocery store of all places.
I know.
So funny.
Yeah. I know, Bernie, they're so cute.
Yes. And I, along with the Buttercup, I definitely want Buttercup, and I love Buttercup. I was thinking, if TK and Carlos move out, everybody keeps talking in, there's another route Carlos could take, and he could become a canine officer, which would mean he would have a canine partner. So I was thinking, like,
oh my gosh, I want that so much.
I know.
Did go that route, like, how would Buttercup react to the canine partner?
Yeah, I feel like that would get real complicated though, because like canine dogs, like you have to treat them way differently than like an actual dog. And like I don't know, I've heard like different things, so I feel like I would want that, but like that's like one of the like wish list items. It's like I want it, but like how realistic is this to happen?
Right, yeah, and I know like sometimes like the dogs are trained like when their vest is on they're working, but like when the vest comes off they're just another dog. So like, it just depends on how they're trained. And but yeah, I just like the interaction of another dog with Buttercup to see like he needs a friend.
Yeah.
Imagine, I can't see this because I see them as being big dog people, but imagine they just get a little Yorkie or something.
No, gosh.
And Buttercup will be scared senseless of this tiny little ferocious thing.
No, I think they need to adopt a dog named Spot and Fresh.
Ronan, we just want your dogs to be in the show. Like,
yes. Buttercup and your dogs will be like the stars.
Honestly, I'm honestly curious if like that dog has met Spot and Fresh, because I know Ronan would bring him to set a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
What's Buttercup's real name? It's Benjamin, isn't it? Benji?
Benji.
No, it's Ben. I think it's just Ben.
I like Buttercup better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know, like, I understand why they don't have the same name as, but, like, I wish the dog's name was actually Buttercup.
Right.
So, like, there's a few characters, like, that I don't really have much for, but, like, Mateo, specifically, I feel like he's gotten, like, little storylines, kind of like Carlos. Like, he's gotten little storylines the last couple seasons, but we really haven't seen that much. Like, I feel like a lot of times they'll bring up something, but then they will never, like, revisit it. Like, they mentioned in season 1 about his DACA status and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And season 2, like, he made a mention of, like, his dad, but, like, I want to meet his family.
Yeah.
I want the background on that, especially since, like, in my mind, but since we know nothing, I kind of have, like, a vision of, like, what his family is like his parents. I kind of imagine him having like younger siblings, like, and so
well, I kind of see him as being the younger sibling. I say as a young
I don't know, I just imagine him having like kid siblings, not like little, but like still a little bit younger. I don't know why I think this, but I've just thought this for a while.
Yeah, I don't know, he just kind of gives me a younger child vibe, but I see him having siblings, like, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Like, I just want the background on that and, like, more of a major storyline than him getting a tattoo and his dyslexia being brought in about it, because
I mean, great, like, representation, but also at the same time, like, yeah, I want to explore that more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Paul, give him a girlfriend.
Yes, he needs a girlfriend. A real one, and not just somebody that, like, somebody who accepts him.
Yeah,
somebody who's absolutely fine with him being trans. Like,
yeah. Like, okay, like, I wouldn't call Josie a girlfriend, because she definitely wasn't. She was just, like...
She was a date.
She was a date. Like, I wouldn't even classify her as a girlfriend and stuff.
And we know Paul has dated, because he's mentioned it in a couple of episodes.
Oh, yeah, he has, but, like, give him a girlfriend, okay?
Oh, just show the damn date!
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like, we need more of that. Like, we really do.
Yeah. No, just give him a girlfriend. Like, show some dates before that, but, like, give him a girlfriend.
Please. Like, it has to happen. Marjan, I have, like, very minimal things too, but I would like to meet and know more about her family and, like, her family dynamic, because she did, like, mention, like, family, sort of, in a sense, in season 1.
Yeah.
And stuff, but, like, I just want to know more and, like, stuff.
I'd like to see, you know, like, family being represented more than, like, those that, like, got into an arranged engagement. And, like, just... And that's one thing, I do not want her to have a love interest this season.
Oh, I don't either. Like the whole...
This season.
No, like, the whole love interest in the past was just, like, such a, like, nope.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm like, no.
Sorry. I've just seen this go around, and I do not want her to date one of her coworkers.
No.
Like, definitely not Mateo. I don't even want her to be with Paul. Like, keep the friendships, have her date outside.
No. I watch too many shows where they, like, do in-house relationships, and it can be cute sometimes, but other times it's very cringy, and it's like, no.
The only place I want that is in Buddy. Other than that, we're done.
And that's a fact.
Okay. So speaking of family, but for Paul, I want to see his mom and sister again. How's his sister doing with her disease, and like how's his mom doing? And yeah, I want them to come back.
Yeah, same. I'd like to know a little. Like, we get the impression that most of his family was supportive, but I want to know a little bit more of his background in that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Like yeah.
Yeah, but like back to Marjan, like more of her family, more of her religion too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want like more of like the Mouse storyline, but without that terrible like bitch from season 1. No, please leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not again. But I just am like, yeah, definitely more, kind of overall, like, show a little bit more of the religion, because we know, like, Judd and Grace are, like, devout, but also, like, show the mosque, like, show that, get representation. Sorry, my brain is not working. I had to search for words.
Please. Yes, give that to us. Like, also, I'm convinced she has a brother because in episode 4, when the man who should not be named, I also can't think of his name right now, and I don't want to think of his name, so it's all okay that I can't remember it.
Salim.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, and I was like, it doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve a shout out.
He goes into the same line as TK's shall not be named.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, what I was trying to say is I feel like she has a brother because of the comment Mateo meant was like, oh, is this your brother? So she has to have a brother. Like, why would he say that if she didn't have a brother? I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, Natasha has a brother, so like, give Marjan a brother. That's always my like justification. Well, we know she's close with her brother, so like, maybe she. Yes.
I don't see her being an only child, and I definitely see her having brothers, because she just, like, I know it probably comes from also working in a, like, mostly alpha male environment, all that, but, like, she just gets along with the guys so well.
Yeah, I feel like she's
and, like, holds her own so well that I'm like, she has a brother.
She has to, like, yes, like, please.
Yeah. Or I was thinking too, like, I literally am just watching this, or not, it's not again, but I'm rewatching of one of my favorite shows called Numbers, and there's a character in there she's a FBI agent, and she was the last of 4 girls, and it was her dad's last chance to have a boy, and so she was raised to like sports, and so she's played sports, and now she's an FBI agent, and so she's always kind of done the alpha male stuff because her other sisters were never into that, and she was. So I can see that Marjan could possibly have a sibling, like a brother, but also on the other hand, I feel like maybe this was her, like, she could also have a bunch of sisters, and she was the only one that didn't follow the same path as her sisters too.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't want her to have sisters. Like, I don't want her to like have. I guess, like, I'm not against the whole sister thing, but I'm also not for it. Like, I would want, like, maybe one sister, but, like, I just want her to have a brother. I don't know why. That's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, sisters are fine, but, like, as someone who has exclusively sisters, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I see it being brothers, and I want it to be brothers. So, I think we'll see, but that's the thing. I want to see. I want to find out.
Yep, we want to see more.
Yeah, just give us more. That's all I ask. So
that's literally what the wish list is for.
Yeah, exactly. So Tommy, I don't really have, like, a lot that I want. But I would like to see, like, her coping with, like, grief. I know it's gonna be like a little time jump, so like it'll be like that is hard, but I feel like
there's no time limit on grief.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like yeah, exactly. There's like no time limit. Like it does get easier, but like there is no time limit and like stuff. And also like obviously she's a single mom now, so I want to see like that and like how she handles that and stuff.
I agree.
And like
also, I don't think they do it, not this season, but I'm gonna throw it out there just because sure somebody somewhere wants it. No love interests.
Oh, and not the ones that I've seen people tell to me that are like
Owen.
Oh, Owen and Tommy. Like no, we had that.
That's disgusting for one thing. I'm sorry, just for some reason that's disgusting to me.
It's so gross. Like I don't like it. Like especially since there are 2 people like sort of quote unquote in power. Like, I don't think that two captains should date. Like, we already got that from fans wanting Michelle and Owen in season 1. So
I
I do
didn't want
not.
that then either.
And I think the only reason why people, I'm sure there was like a couple people that said it, but like I'm sure the reason why people didn't really say it that much last season is because she was married.
That's true. But now that like Charles is out of the way, and this is the problem. This is what I have seen with, for example, Michelle and Owen, now Tommy and Owen, Marjan and Mateo. People will just take who exists in the show and just bond them up with some like idea.
Yeah.
And even when there's no evidence to support it, I'm going to use Buddy again as an example. Y'all know I love Buddy.
We all love Buddy here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the difference with that is that there is literally episodes to support the love of Buddy. With these various different ships like Marjan, Mateo, and like Tommy and Owen, there is nothing to support it. And so like, hush.
Well, I think not to like defend those people, but I feel like in some ways a lot of people don't think fan fiction wise, so they don't think about creating their own characters. So when it comes to like what they're given on like a cast of characters, like they fit them with who they already know. So
Okay, that's fair.
Often why we do hear a lot about like, oh, let's have Marjan and Mateo get together, or oh, let's have Paul and Marjan. No, they don't need to be together. They're friends, and I think that's what the show's trying to depict, that there can be a woman on a fire crew and it doesn't turn into a sexual relationship with somebody. But oftentimes people don't think about, oh, well, let's create our own like headcanon character that like can be a like original character. And that's what us as fan fiction writers we can do, because we are used to creating like original characters to like go along with our fan fiction ideas that we come up with. So I'm not trying to defend what they're saying, because but I also kind of get where some of them are coming from.
No, I think that's actually a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as you said, we're used to thinking like that because we write fan fiction.
Right.
But not everyone thinks like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, that's definitely possible.
But
Yeah.
I also agree. I definitely don't want Tommy and Owen to ever get together. I want them to have a friendship. And I want her to learn from Owen being a single dad. His life, like, granted, Owen wasn't around a lot, and so I want Owen to kind of remind her and kind of teach her, like, you know, I wasn't around for TK when he was a kid because of this, you know, so help her to not do that, not make his mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably one of the places he'll be most valuable, is because his life was the job, especially after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it isn't quite the same because it's personal grief for her, but it's still going to be like grief. And one of the ways to do that is bury yourself in your work.
Right.
So I feel like he can just be like, you know, I screwed up on this. So my advice is don't screw up like I did.
Right.
And so I think, you know, and he can give her like good advice that is, here's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the advice of don't do what I did. And it's just as valuable. And so, no, but I agree.
Yeah, like, I definitely think they've already, like, sort of leaned on each other and given each other advice in season 2, so I think that'll carry over. And then also, I want to see, like, on top of the single mother thing, like, I want to see, like, sort of it connect to, like, It Takes a Village and stuff, and I want her to lean on people that aren't just Grace and Judd, like, because I feel like that's just, like, the standard since they've been friends so long. Like, I want it to be, like, other people. And then also connecting to the women of the show. I want like a girls' night out sort of thing. Like,
yes,
awesome. I want it.
Like Tommy and Grace are already planning on going out, and they invite Marjan and Nancy. That would be fun.
Yes,
like, especially since I feel like that could be almost in a way a little bit of a mentorship, because there's not a huge age gap, but there is a little bit of an age gap, a life experience gap, and so, you know, I want it.
Yeah.
Also, connecting Tommy and connecting Tarlos, I want Tarlos to babysit.
Yes,
100%.
I mean, obviously the girls love Carlos now. Like, they don't just ignore their godfather.
Oh yes,
Carlos.
And now we just need them to love TK too, and there we go. We're also on the path to kids. Also, it should not happen for another few seasons. But
right,
yes, love that. So next, Judd and Grace. I kind of feel like we wrote them together, but like I just feel like separately. I don't have much for them. It's more like together. So first off, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this so often, but I not only think their baby, like Judd, is gonna be a girl, I want it to be a girl. I just do. I think Judd would be like the best, like girl dad and stuff. Like it's all I see, so it's gonna happen. And I feel like a lot of people think it's a girl anyway, so there's that.
Like, part of me wants it to be a boy because, you know, Maddie just had a girl, and I know technically TK's little brother is coming on, but that's not going to be a prevalent character. And so, like, part of me just wants it to be a boy to shake things up, but at the same time, I feel like it's a girl.
Yeah, well, after they mentioned that, like, Judd thought it was a girl and he was looking at, like, cowboy boots and, like, all that kind of stuff, I was like, oh, it has to be. Like, and, like, that's just, he speaks girl dad. He just does. I can't unsee what I see. I really can't.
Yeah. No, I want him to be a girl dad. Part of me almost wants, like, twins, but we already got twins.
Right,
Like Tommy and
that's
Joe.
true.
And so it's like, no matter which way you look at it, it's already been done. And so, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, not me being like, Tommy, why? It's all like your
Tommy,
fault.
why?
Sorry, Tommy, it's not your fault that you're here. That would be funny. Also, like, with Grace's pregnancy, I want, like, since there will be some form of time jump, I want her to be, like, 6 months pregnant when we come back. Kind of like, with Maddie's pregnancy. I think she was about that far along when they returned. So I think that would be, like, the perfect time because we still get to see, like, her pregnancy because we saw a little bit of it in the end of the season, but it was still very early that, like, it didn't really, like, click as much for me, at least.
We've gotten little to nothing about it.
Yeah,
it's mostly
exactly.
talk.
It's talk, and, like, it was mostly about her recovery while still finding out she's pregnant. So, yeah. And, like, yeah, 6 months, I feel like that's good. And then, like, I would like to see her have the baby by, like, maybe, like, the middle of the season. It's like halfway mark of the season. I feel like that'd be the perfect time for that to happen. So yeah. And also, like, I feel like we might have talked about this, but, like, I want to see, like, Judd, like, kind of move up professionally.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm torn on that.
I'm torn on it, but
because
I
that
kind
would
of
mean
want
he'd
it.
switch stations likely, unless they're. He's sort of a lieutenant now. He's Owen's second in command, but at the same time he's still kind of like basically a firefighter. He isn't really an engineer, even though obviously he can drive the trucks. Like, I don't know, he's at a weird, really defined role. I feel.
Yeah, I know. Like, I sort of want, and I feel like shows really work these things out where they kind of make it work, where somebody could move up, but I just feel like he's not, like, just your standard firefighter, so I feel like they need to, like, almost be like, yeah, he's this. Like, nothing major, just little things.
Yeah. But no, at the same time, I agree that I do want to see Judd move up professionally just because he's so good. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's not, like, anything that I'm, like, really dying for, but it's also, like, maybe.
Like, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And then Owen. So, I know, like, in a 911 episode was teased, like, a 9/11 episode is what I really meant to say. Because, like, they were gonna do it in season 1, but then they didn't. Like, this episode has been basically, like, written in some form for a while. And then they were gonna do it last year, but then they did the crossover. So, like, I think it's almost, like, almost a guarantee that they're gonna do it. And, like, I mean, we want it anyway since it has been, like, heavily mentioned. And, like, it's gonna be, like, so good. It just is.
No, I'm really looking forward to that episode. And I know they, like, have had to, like, stall filming because they couldn't go to New York. And so,
it's hard to say if they'll still stall it. I feel like they want to film some parts of it there, and, like, I don't know, it's hard to say, like, what they will do, but
yeah, it's hard to replicate some of the exterior stuff, but interior could easily be done in Los Angeles. So hopefully they can just figure out a way to get it done. I know, you know, with all the stuff going on right now and the virus still making its way through the country, I just don't know what traveling is going to look like. So I definitely want to see it, and I hope they do get some form of like his begins episode, because I think it'll also give us some insight into TK as well, especially TK as a really little kid.
Yeah.
I so want to
And
see TK
what
as
he-
a little kid.
What he went through,
Please.
not knowing, because there was like a comment about like there were days that they didn't know if Owen was even alive after 9/11 because of the.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
they
didn't just
couldn't get a
wrap up
hold of
after
him.
one day. It took
Right.
a while.
And it took a couple of days for him to get home, and
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
admittedly, after like all of what we had of Owen last season, can we like have another storyline with another character or something?
Can we dial it back? Because my thing
Yeah.
is, I was like, is it bad that I want to see less of him? Because I kind of do. Like,
I'm like, I love Rob Lowe, but it's not really the Rob Lowe show.
yeah, and sometimes, like, I feel like season 2, it kind of felt like that, and people have made complaints about how it feels like that it's his show and stuff, and like 9-1 has a more balance is what people really argue, and I can't really disagree with them, but I'm also like, I don't know, it's just hard. And I was like, can we just have like a little less Owen and like slightly do more Tarlos?
See, I'm a little mixed on that. Because like the literal description of the show is about a firefighter moving from New York with his son. So it kind of is about him.
Yes.
But at the same
True.
time, like, I think the reason people think that, like, there needs to be a little less is because they did so much character destruction, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt so much because he was so prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Grace. I think that's, at least for me, I think that's why I could use, because he was just like, almost every episode had a storyline centered around him in some way.
And usually it was about him screwing up in some way. I'm just going to be honest. And I'm mad at the writers for that because I love Owen. And there's like, but the problem is that he just stopped at season 1 development and kind of went back a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And again, I'm mad at the like writers for it.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like his fault. Like, that's the writer's fault for putting these horrific, terrible, chaotic storylines in there. I mean, they weren't all bad, but like the Owen and Gwen thing, nobody asked for that. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. This is totally like the bashing part. I mean, not like intentional, but like it's thought.
I mean, we wanted to see more of TK's mom. We just didn't want to see her that way.
No, we did not ask for that. Like, come on. And like, I just want a little less, not like dramatically, but it's just because like if the show truly is about like a firefighter from New York that goes to Texas with his son, then why isn't TK number 2? Because
that's true.
He's not. It's so conflicting. Like, obviously, like these are just little things that I just want.
Well,
I just want a little less, just a little.
Yeah. I think you're right. Like, I hear what you're saying, and I was like, I feel like season 1, Owen was like in like scramble mode, where he like had to figure out and had to be number 1 on everything because he was trying to figure everything out by moving to a new city and trying to take everything under control, make everybody seem like he knew what he was doing, which he does. But in season 2, it was like he realized he didn't have as much he needed to take care of anymore. So then he was just like kind of lost trying to figure out who he was, and then Gwen being there really confused him.
Well, see, then you also have the point of, and this is what annoys me about the fans that hate on Owen so much, is that you're ignoring the fact that he has extreme survivor's guilt and PTSD.
Yeah.
And the show, it's building up to a point, and then they're going to take it somewhere, but right now, like, they're still building it up. And people are just hating on him for having those issues, and that's what's not okay.
Yeah, no, that isn't okay. And, like, I still like the character. I just think that, like, they kind of wasted opportunities to show more and stuff, and I think, and they need to dial it back, like, just a bit in general, because, like, in season 2, I don't know. Like, I don't hate him, but I don't love him. I'm kind of like, he's good sometimes.
Yeah. There were elements
again,
of season
I love
2.
season 1. I don't hate season 2, but season 2 was going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah, that, I mean, I
don't think I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I like season 2 better than 1, I will say that, but there's things I don't like about season 2. So I just discount certain things about season 2.
I think overall, I agree that there should be more time for others, because whether or not he was doing great last season or not, a lot of screen time was just simply wasted on like him exclusively, and so keep him as like, you know, one of the big characters, but give some of that screen time to other stories.
Exactly. Like, there's so many things that they like can do, and like I would like to see, like, I feel like every season so far has been like about him and like a love interest in some sort. Like season 1 not so much, but season 2 is like the first half of season was about him and Gwen, and like we said, we didn't want that. So I would almost like to see him be single for like, you know, a few seasons. Like I almost think he needs to, like, we know he's dealing with stuff. He's dealing with major stuff. He needs to like work on himself and just focus on him, and not for them to throw in a random love interest.
Yeah, that's another thing. Keep the love interest out for him too.
Yeah.
None this season.
None.
I mean, I might take Zoe coming back because I did like Zoe, but even then, another season.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so, honestly. Like they kind of threw that on the ground and then jumped a bunch of times on it with Gwen and Owen.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what they did.
But like at the same time, it's like just keep the love interest out for him too. Season 3 needs for a couple of characters such as Tommy, Marjan, and Owen. That needs to be a period for growth, self-improvement. And then a little bit of self-love and forgiveness.
Yes, definitely.
Period.
And we don't mean to leave Nancy out, but I just feel like we don't have much for her. But I will say, since she is now going to be like a major character, that I would like to know about her background-wise, because we only know her as working on the ambulance. We don't know like anything about her, like, personally, really. So I would like to know, like, I don't know, just who is Nancy?
Yeah.
That sounded like weird, but like, you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Y'all, I just had a moment. You said Nancy, and I went, "Oh, Tim, wait."
Oh.
It's not funny, but it's not.
I literally forgot he died for a moment.
It's not funny, but it's also funny. Okay, I'm crying. I'm laughing at the same time.
I was laughing at myself, but at the same time, like, damn, how did I forget he's dead?
R.I.P. Tim.
R.I.P. boy. Wow.
God.
Oh, wait. Sorry, this is
What?
really random. But can we see more of Buster?
Oh, I was just about to say that! Yeah. I was just about to be like, can the cat come back? But I couldn't remember his name.
I think it's Buster.
Yeah, it is. No, it's Buster.
I literally just learned that without even knowing, but...
Yeah, because Tommy, kind of, so like, when Charles passed away, why didn't we see him at all at the, like, when they were at the house? Shoot, the cat would have been sitting on him. Yeah.
Because I feel like that they, like, I feel like what a lot of times happens, specifically with pets, is they will introduce them in one episode, and then you may or may not see him ever again.
Like
Buttercup. I mean, I feel like, yes, like Buttercup, but also not, because I feel like Buttercup is more like well known, so I feel like they have to show him to us at least every few episodes so we know that he's alive and well.
Buttercup's just a beloved character. Buster is kind of, I'm sure some people have even forgotten he exists, and that's fine because he showed up in one episode. But I'd like to see a little bit more Buster. Like, just show us he's alive, and like, I want to see him playing with the girls. That's it. I'll take that for the rest of the show, even. Like, I just want to see him thriving.
Yeah, I hope we see that, now that I think of it. Yeah. So then, like, specific storylines, so...
There's not much.
Yeah, there's not much, but what do we want to happen with Billy attempting to take the 126?
Ooh.
I don't... It's so hard, because, like, what I really want is, well, for starters, they need to get Mateo out of that terrible firehouse he is currently at, and with the others, because, no, we do not like that.
Yeah, I want him to be. I want him to be with either Paul or Marjan or both.
Yeah.
And or even Judd. Like I don't know. So it's important to know I'm still in denial.
I am
about
too.
Billy.
I haven't rewatched that episode. I think I watched it maybe like once when it was live and once before we recorded that episode. I haven't rewatched it since.
For me, the season ended at 12.
Yeah, that's a really good, like, I agree with that completely because that's how I feel. But like, I don't know, what I want to happen is for like them to just be reunited as fast as possible, which I think just because, like, I don't know, what I want and what I'm thinking will happen are two different things that I'm saving for two different times. I felt like, because I was like, it's too soon to have like theories. Like, I feel like once we see like a promo, see them filming, I might get more ideas. But like, I just want it to happen like as fast as possible for them to get like, I don't want the 126 to like be like RIP. 126 doesn't exist before because like I like that. I like the 126. I like the history of it, and I like what they done there and stuff. And like, I really don't know how Billy can redeem himself, but I almost would like him to just at this point just leave and never come back because I don't know what to feel about the whole situation.
See, here's my thing. I've talked to you guys a lot about this, and I know I've spoken on the podcast about it before. But here, let's go again. I like the Billy that came back.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem... Let's do a character analysis here.
Yes.
Let's take Billy from season 1. The one that wanted to take back the 126, and that was just kind of generally an asshole. If you compare that Billy to the one who came into the 126 in season 2 and like dropped that bomb, those are two completely different Billies, even within like the same motive, because that scene is burned into my brain, unfortunately. But if you look at when he comes in and makes the announcement that the 126 is closing, he almost seems like sorrowful. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but just kind of like really solemn. He's not smug. He's not acting like he just wanted something. And so that's like a completely different turnaround from the Billy in 6 and 7 of last season. And so that leaves me thinking, I'm like, okay, so what's different about this one? Because I'm surprised that he's going for the deputy chief position, because I totally envision him, as he described himself, as someone who can't take a desk job.
That's accurate.
Does he look like someone who can take a desk job to you?
No.
No, he's gonna work on the fire truck until they drag him out or he dies. Like, that's kind of how I picture Billy Tyson. That's just the mood you're giving off out of either season you look at. And so, no, he is not, taking aside the 126. I feel like his experience would make him a good deputy chief, but I don't see him in the role.
I'm gonna just say what I was just thinking in my head. I was like, he gives me like season 3 Buck, like clipboard vibes. Like he, like.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, Billy's a interesting character to think about. As I told Ronan recently, I liked Billy Burke, but I'm not a fan of Billy. Then the boy has to go back and say, is he coming back?
Well, yeah. Is he coming back? As if you don't know.
I know, right?
I'm just like, I just kind of look at him like, excuse me?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, season 1, Billy, he came in, we didn't like him, we resolved that storyline, and we moved on. When he came in season 2, we were hoping for, him to redeem himself, which he kind of did in 12. And then 14, kind of just the complete opposite. And I feel like when he found out that Owen had turned down the offer to be the new deputy chief, I feel like he's like, oh, perfect. Like, I can jump on that. Because he knows, like, after like rescuing TK and Carlos and having like going through some stuff with Owen, I think he's realized that he's older and he he's not going to be able to have, you know, like the job he wants because his cancer seems to be coming back, and he's going to need to like tone it down for, you know, the rest of his life. So I feel like that he was like, oh, I'll jump on it, because then he can stay in the fire department and he can make more, you know, cause more trouble, which is, you know, going to be a thorn in Owen's side and the crew's side. But I feel like the storyline's not going to last long. Somehow either he's going to like get hurt or get sick, or, you know, he's not going to be able to take the position and Owen's going to, and then Judd will take over as captain of the 126, or something along those lines will happen.
See, I do have a hunch that his cancer is going to come back.
Oh,
And
I
it'll be
do too.
terminal this time. And, you know, I don't want him to be killed off. I don't want him to be a bad guy. I'm
Right.
like, I'm so done with that storyline already, and we just started it. And honestly, it makes me dread the upcoming seasons a little bit, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I'd like it to be resolved, but I have no idea how it would be.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, I don't foresee Owen and Billy being buddies after this.
Yeah,
No.
Unless something major happens again.
Yeah, like that's just like a line you don't cross. There has to be like, I almost feel like there has to be like a point where I don't even know. Like, I honestly do think like this is kind of like, I don't know how they'll come back from this. I don't know if they can. They probably won't. Let's just be real. Like, Billy kind of like backstepped like all of them, not just Owen. In a way.
No, he did, and yeah, I'm just upset about it because, you know, as I said, I don't want it to happen.
My question is, at what point will Owen and Billy just make a truce? And more Billy, because at some point, Billy's got to figure out, no matter what he tries to throw at the 126, he's not going to get his way.
And you can't just shut down a fire station when the one fire station being shut down meant that TK and Carlos were in more danger.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you can't just do that. So it's like, I don't get the sense.
Yeah, it's not gonna last. Like, this has been done before. It'll be done again. Like,
yeah.
It's
and
not
overall,
the
I'd
first
just
time.
like to know what the writers were smoking.
What were you drinking that night? What were you smoking that night? What were we doing? Because this is not like sober talk.
No.
this yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much more thought of that. Like, I honestly, like, I'm like, no, I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah. I think there's not a lot that can be said on it because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know what's going to happen because I'm not dreading this, but I'm also just hoping it gets resolved so quick because I do now have to deal with this for long because I don't like it. I don't like it.
Honestly, I just kind of want the season to open up and then just go, JK!
JK was all a dream! JK was a joke! Oh, we're so funny! Yeah, please. Honestly, I'll take it.
I'll take it if it means that nothing that just happened.
Yeah, because, like, yeah, I don't want to think about it. The only lasting thing that I always think about this, like, characters that were on the show at one point, even if they were, like, a minor character, like, just a character in a call, come back. Like, I would really like to see Colleen and Mabel Parkland, Chuck Parkland's wife and daughter, come back, because we haven't seen them since season 1.
I bet they'd come back with Grace being pregnant. And
yeah, 100%. I feel like they could 100% do that as long as, like, they're available and stuff. Like, can we have this happen? Because I want it. I really do.
And I'd like to actually meet a couple of the other, families.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
No, yeah, not a lot, but like, yeah, I would like to know people because I'm sure, like, just like the 118, there are people that like worked at the 118 than they did. I'm sure there's other people that Judd worked with, maybe not just at the 126, but just in general, he worked with at some point. So I'd like to see maybe them come back.
Oh, you know what would be cool is while they're they could do like a memorial or like a like for the 126 after, and bring back some of the families, and then that would cause Owen to have flashbacks on 9/11.
Yeah.
And the memorials they did for the 252, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that would bring back a lot of the characters, the 126 former, the families of them.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be cool, but I don't think they'll do that just because they kind of already did like the picture memorial, so I don't think they would actually have like an actual memorial, especially since it's been like possibly a couple of years. I don't know if they would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like the idea of, the... I couldn't come up with the word, and I was thinking, well, reunion ain't quite right, but...
Oh my god, that reminds me of something. Can we have like a 126, like when they get the station back, like a 126 like cookout reunion type thing?
Yeah,
I want it.
That
Me
would be
too.
so cool. Like I've seen that done in like sort of on shows before, and I kind of want it. I just do. So shall we do our mini wish list for number one?
Oh, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first item on the agenda of what we want in season 5.
Buddy! That's all we want. Oh, that and make Josh happy. But that's it. Buddy!
That's pretty much it. Like, I feel like there are other things I want, but I just can't think of them right now. Like,
Right.
okay, like, Buddy, yes. Make Josh happy, yes. Like, meaning, like, give him a boyfriend that isn't, like, an actual non-boyfriend who is, like, give him a healthy relationship is what I'm trying to say.
Let's not have him traumatized by dating again.
Yeah,
Right.
although, like, I would like to see, like, him tell, like, a guy he dates, like, when he's comfortable enough, like, about, like, this past thing, and, like, kind of see him go slowly into a relationship and explain why, because I feel like that'd be important, but, like, I don't want it to be, like, obviously, like, I want it to be, like, a good relationship, and I want, like, more Josh screen time, because I feel like they kind of lacked on it previously. I also want, like, more Maddie and Josh, because, like, that friendship is, yes, that is, like, gold. They're right there.
I
And
agree.
so-
I think I said this to you guys last time, but last time we zoomed, but I want to see, Josh getting back into the dating game and stuff like that. But I want to see him, like, struggling with the idea of, like, going out on a date just because he remembers what happened last time.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, I want him to, like, confess to Maddie, but, like, he's just, he's afraid of it happening again. And
Yeah, he has a right to have maybe some PTSD after what happened.
for sure.
Mhm.
Or some, anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course there's quite a bit, in 911 we want to see, and I know they're going to address a lot of stuff, and so I'm excited for both 911 and Lone Star. I'm excited for whatever their disasters are going to be.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
The blackout looks like fun. I'm just going to say.
yes, it does.
And going back onto the whole buddy thing, I've seen a lot of people, including us, going like, can we just have a Buck Kennedy stuck in an elevator? And I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, because I saw somebody say that on Twitter, and I was like, wait, was this like actually going to happen, or is this just something people want? Because they wanted to parallel off David and Michael, which I'm here for. I'm
so here for. Also, that's another thing. I want more David and Michael.
Oh, facts.
I love David. I love that pairing.
He's definitely I mean, I know they've only really showed like one of Michael's boyfriends and stuff, but he's the best one.
I mean, just by the fact that Glenn left. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. No, I'm pretty fond of him. I like rewatching the episode where
I know what you're gonna say.
Detectives.
Oh
yes.
I knew you were gonna say
that
that.
one too. I was like,
And also
Michael and Bobby friendship.
I want to see more of the Bobby Michael friendship, and I just kind of want to see David in the background listening to their harebrained schemes and just kind of going, what the hell? Because that's sort of what he was doing during that one episode.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I feel like some of our wish lists will come out during when we talk about the promos, so let's do that.
Let's do that, yeah.
So they released a promo like literally like a couple days ago. So like the first promo, because I feel like they released one quickly after the second one just to like add things on. But the first one, the 118's like they're like at the 118, and they all get like an alert on their phones, and Bobby's like, he gets an earthquake alert, Buck gets a tsunami, and Eddie gets a mudslide. And then I love Chimney's comment
Yeah.
where he's like, that's like all our greatest hits," and I'm like, that was the
I love
best
that
part.
line.
That's
so
like the
good.
best. I know, fourth wall breaking.
Oh my god, it is, because like it's one of those things when shows do these things that like the fans get, but like for the characters that actually in the storyline, it doesn't really make any sense. But for us, it makes total sense. It's one of those situations.
Yeah. It's kind of like the thing where you might have a character like talk to the audience or something like that.
Exactly.
And that's what I meant by like fourth wall breaking.
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of, I feel like that's a very small version of what happened, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yes, please. And so, like, we know it's gonna be a blackout, and so the whole city is supposedly hacked. And
I wasn't expecting the hacked. I'm just gonna say.
we see like the havoc arise in the city. So we see cars crashing. Like an airplane is like trying to like land, and it's like they're going all over the place. So it's probably gonna crash.
Whenever you involve an airplane, it's gonna go bad. Just
That's a fact. And then we end with seeing animals running around, and Bobby's just like, and I really thought this year was going to be different, and that's definitely another.
You just described 2021 for everybody.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that until now, but that is definitely so true, because I feel like I thought this year was gonna be different. I mean,
Right.
It's true. Like you think it's gonna be different, and it's not at all.
Yeah, and I still think with the animals running around that Buck's gonna come out with some useless facts to try and say that he's like some master with the animals.
He's gonna be like, zebras, did you know zebras, blah 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 blah, or did you know, actually we were talking about this the other day, and it's definitely gonna be giraffes, I have a feeling. Well, Grace had the feeling, and then I was like, I agree.
Oh yeah. But also I saw this on a Facebook group earlier, and I totally want this. I just want to see Eddie being terrorized by a llama. Or the other option was an emu on the post. I'm like, that. I want it.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Like, imagine him being chased or something. Which, that's...
I mean, emus are the fastest land animal.
As long as
Land
it's...
bird.
I thought that was the ostrich. I know they're like related.
I was
Emu and the
just...
ostrich.
I was just about to be like, as long as it's not a bird, it's fine. That just brings back my own trauma, and I don't need to watch that. It's gonna be all...
That also makes me think, remember the, what was it? Turkey? That was terrorizing the neighborhood in 407.
The net.
I just watched 407, because that's the amateur detective episode.
Oh,
and
Buck and Eddie walking down the lane and all the slow motion, and they like,
yeah.
And him just going, I think he's behind.
Oh my god.
Turkey.
Okay.
The blueberries. I'm pretty sure those were blueberries.
Oh yeah, that one wasn't. That was like actually like good though. So then, adding on to the first promo, we like basically just see everything go like dark and black, and like Josh's like, yeah, we've been hacked or something like that. So basically, like, the dispatch center goes dark. So does like fire and police. The whole thing.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see, because obviously, like, the animals are getting most of the attention right now, which they should, the little darlings. But I'm like curious what they're going to do with the hacked thing. Like,
yeah, because
are you going to like, possibly like destroy diplomatic relations, or
yeah. I mean, I feel like every medical type show I've watched has done some sort of hacking episode where like their systems get hacked, and like they basically either have to pay off the hacker or try to like hack them back or something like that. So
imagine, do you guys remember the episode, I think it was from 3? No, I think it was season 2, where the power outage, or they lost the outage for the call center.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they bring in, like, I don't know, some big official thing because they think they've been hacked, and it winds up that it was just broken. But they wouldn't listen to anybody. I want those people to come back, and I really just want something
I
funny with
remember that. It was when there was a fire at a place downtown, and it turned out the fire was where the backup CAD system was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was right after Chim and Maddie had been attacked.
Yeah, I think it was like 216, 215.
Something
Chim
like
was
that.
at home, and he saw on the news about a neighborhood that was going like up in flames, and
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
And he got both the 118 there, and he got an old guy that worked at the 120 the 118. He got them to fly in a plane to do a water drop.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember that. Like that was that's wild. I mean, the
That's just
blackout.
giving me those vibes.
Oh yeah, the blackout's gonna be really good, and it's supposed to be like 3 episodes. So I was thinking earlier today, like, why don't they just air like 2 of the episodes back to back? Because we're not getting Golden Star anyways. And like, I just really want like half of it to already be over. I don't want to have to sit through 3 weeks. I mean, it's gonna be great 3 weeks, but I just want it all.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I selfishly just want it all. So that way, like, because like I always hate like when these episodes end and then you're like, oh damn it, now I have to wait until next week to see more because it gets so good towards the end, and then you're like, no, I need this.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just looking forward to all of it. 901 is looking very promising. They ended on a good note for the 4th season, and so like we don't have quite the same cliffhanger that we have with Lone Star. So they're coming back in very different ways at very different statuses, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I do want to share some like fan things. I want to see if we got more.
Oh, yes.
Because I feel like, okay, it's just the same one, but this one's really good. I really liked it. For 911 Lone Star, more background on Mateo growing up. And then for 911, this is very standard, but find out why Chimney's nickname is Chimney, which I feel like they tried hinting at last season, but they never really told us. And like, I do want to know. I mean, we all can theorize of like why that might be a thing. But we need to know, like,
all we got was him saying he feels like such a cliche, like, and like that was very funny. I loved that, but like, give us the full story because he did not want Chris told that, and I'm just like, why? What did you do?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would think that it means that he one time had to go down a chimney at a call, so
And he probably got stuck in a chimney.
That's what I mean. Oh wait, what if it doesn't have to do anything with like the fire department? Maybe like as a child he got stuck in a chimney. I mean, I highly doubt it. That'd be funny.
Like something that came in his fire department years, but I feel like I don't know.
I know it probably does have to do with that, but I'm just trying to think of like why that. Like honestly, sometimes I have these moments where I'm like, I forget that his name is actually Howie, and I'm like, who's Howie?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, he's Chimney.
I know, he feels like only Chimney. Yeah, and sometimes you hear Maddie saying either, but you never hear like anyone else saying it.
Yeah, like I feel like that's normal since like she's his girlfriend and stuff like that.
But even she uses Chimney most of the time.
I know. Well,
which I feel like it's just so much his nickname now. It's like him.
Yeah, that's just how he is. That's just who he is. More like.
Yeah.
I was thinking if I had anything else like that I wanted. I was making sure I didn't have anything else. The only thing I can think of is I would like to see Maddie and Chimney possibly like maybe not get married, but maybe like engaged this season because I felt like it should have maybe happened by now. Not just because they have a baby, because like I don't care about that. Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm not saying they have to be married, but like I feel like they've almost reached that point. So that's the only thing I would possibly want.
They're a married couple without being a married couple right now. Like let's just make it official.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. that, like, on the topic of them in general, do her postpartum justice.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like I do want like it'll be interesting to see how things go. Since we all know that she's like very pregnant. Like
Yeah.
Jennifer, not Maddie, obviously. I just want to clarify that. I mean, I feel like it goes without saying, but who knows? Yeah, but like I feel like they're gonna do like something there, and I mean, I think it's an important storyline. It's not done that much. Like it's definitely been done, but I feel like not too much. So like I'm definitely excited for that in a sense.
They're definitely making strides with that. I'm just saying, like, do it justice. And because, you know, those things are kind of easy to screw up or, like, leave to the side a little bit. And I'm just like, don't do it. You brought it in. You need to follow it through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely not like, oh, she's fine now.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do that. Doesn't work like that. And I know tons of people are really happy that this is a storyline brought up. So, like,
yeah,
go on with it.
Like, yes, there's gonna be like a tiny bit of a time jump, but like, they can always do it in a flashback. They can always like show like what's happened. Like they did that last year with sort of storylines with the pandemic. They like kind of showed like this is what happened in September. This is what happened here. Like that kind of thing. I mean, it wasn't like a huge storyline, but they at least showed a little bit of it. So they could do something similar. I mean, I feel like there's definitely gonna be more. But yeah, that's it for our wish list. I felt like that was a bigger wish list than we were anticipating. I'm excited for like the season, and I'm excited for like us to be back, which by the way, I have mentioned this on our live, which is still active on our profile under IGTVs, but we did mention that we will be doing podcasts every other week. So instead of every week, for now, we're going to do every other week. And then probably like in December, January, we'll go back to every week in preparation for Lone Star coming back finally.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy. I'm glad we're back.
I know, me too. It'll be fun. And we're going to like dive into like the Begins episodes, which we've been saying for a while that we will be getting into. We also have some fun things coming up. That's all I'll say about that. Also, we have a new look. I meant to mention this in the beginning, but we do have a new look, which you guys will know before this goes up. We'll probably post about it like a couple days before for teasing purposes, but I'm excited about like a new look. It was about time.
Yeah. It's refresh. It's our comeback.
Yeah.
Refreshed look.
Season 2, everybody.
Season 2.
We're excited.
So excited. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us and listening for our first one back. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Anchor. We're also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, and almost anywhere where podcasts can be found. On iTunes, please rate us and leave us a review. It would mean a lot to us. You can also follow us on our podcast socials, which are at 91LS Roundup on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a Discord server. Still have it, of course, and we love talking to you guys on there. It's been fun doing periodically throughout our summer. And you guys can follow me, Katie, at PhilipPatarlos on Instagram and at ForLovePatarlos on Twitter.
You can follow me, Grace, at RonanRafa911 on Instagram and at SheepGirl31 on Twitter.
You can follow me, EJ, at EJ8302 on Instagram and Twitter.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.